Welcome back for another episode on the couch. And today, SQM Research, right, have put out their boom and bust report. They do it every year where they're pretty much either going to go and say, this place is shit, this place is going to be good. And they look at their 12-month outlook for the next year. So Dan and I, the nerds that we are, we get a hold of that and we read it. So what's come out of it, Dan?
Absolutely. So, I mean, a bit of doom and gloom, right? It wouldn't be a good marketing activity if they didn't come out and say, the world is going to end. But at the end of the day, I mean, we know that the property market, it does move in cycles. It goes through your peaks, it goes through your stability, and it goes through your trough. So it's important to understand what stage you're actually in the property journey. But it was interesting that the boom and bust report, they've come out and they've sort of said, look, all those normal places, your Sydneys and your Melbournes that people would love to go to, they basically said, look, we expect that there potentially being another dip. So a secondary correction or a double dip, as they've liked to call it, in the property market. But on the shining light side of things, they've turned around and said, hey, Brisbane and Perth, they're going to be your leaders as we're going out of there. So I suppose, what do you think of those from a sentiment perspective, mate?
For me, I try not to get too caught up in like all the stuff obviously in the media, right? So everyone's always like, oh, it's going to go down 30%, 20% slight correction. When you're looking at like property prices, and when I say, well, it might dip 1.2% last month, and it's so negligible.
Yeah.
You know, it's so difficult to find those sort of like big corrections where you think you're going to get a deal. So I'm still a big believer in the long-term outlook. You're not trying to flip a property or anything like that. Wealth is built, right? You can be rich for a day or wealthy for a lifetime. It's all about making sure that the locations you go into have a outlook or you have confidence in the outlook that definitely goes past 12 months.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think those macro areas, so the big capitals of Australia, the economies are just so robust that, sure, even if you see a slight correction over the next 12 to 18 months, if you think about how that property market is going to perform over the next 20 years, geez, I tell you what, I'd have a lot of confidence to see you're going to be a long way ahead compared to being behind over a 12-month window.
Absolutely. So there we have it for this week. See you next week.